Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being, and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another not by creed, but by covenant. And we are called to answer the call of love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here. Happy Mother's Day. I'm just going to invite all of you who are mothers to stand. Let's just have a good look at you. There you are, friends. There they are. Yay for the moms. Thank you, moms. And please be seated. In 1870, Boston Unitarian poet and suffragist Julia Ward Howe wrote a pacifist response to the carnage of the American Civil War and the Franco-Prussian War. Her anti-war rallying cry became known as the Mother's Day Proclamation. In 1914, Democratic President Woodrow Wilson signed Mother's Day into law, making today the 103rd anniversary of Mother's Day in America. Today, as we honor mothers and mothering, we remember and celebrate this proud history. Presence of the mothers, both living and dead, who cannot be here with us today. Let us speak their names in this great sanctuary and write their names in the chat, and so honor them and remember them. Marion Kirschbaum, Gertrude Drew. Gratitude for all those who have mothered us, those who have helped and healed and held us, and for those in whose hands lie the nurturing of the next generation. Let us give thanks. As we gather, we acknowledge that Arlington Street Church occupies the ancestral homeland of the Massachusetts. By making this land acknowledgement, we recognize, honor, and affirm the sovereignty of all First Nations peoples. Dear ones, welcome. Welcome to our Zoomers. Welcome to the congregation gathered in the sanctuary. I want to say a very special welcome to the Bogage family and their beloveds who are here with them today. This is a real Circle of Life day for you and for us all, dedicating Baby Brooks Harrison, I should say, and memorializing Brooks' great-grandmother Harriet this afternoon. Our hearts are with you. Thank you to our volunteers here in the sanctuary today, tech team, greeters and ushers, childcare, worship team, musicians, and the Arlington Street Church Choir, directed by Mark David Buckles. 3 of our 4 soloists called out sick today, Mark David and Julie and Hyungju just like leapt into action, and thanks to Beck for bringing it. It's really amazing. You're 4 people today, Beck. Go. That's really great. Thank you, friends. What is it? Sam, you're here? Sam, you're here. You're alive. Great. Welcome, Sam. Great to see you. Thank you. Our executive minister, Reverend Beth Robbins, is in the Zoom room and in the sanctuary this morning. If you're here and you're small, or you might get bored while I'm preaching, don't everybody stand up, you'll hurt my feelings. Sarah and Morgan Cooley-Beck would love to provide childcare. Morgan, just stand and give a wave so they can see. Like, wouldn't you want to hang out with Morgan? They would love to provide childcare. So maybe after the baby dedication, maybe after the first hymn, you all can go down. Is that good? Great. All right, I'll call you up then. Thank you, dear ones. Following the guidance of the Boston Public Health Commission and our COVID response team, we are now mask optional in the sanctuary. Masks are available at the great doors. Our greeters would be happy to help you. Physical distancing is encouraged in the balcony. If you need a mask, or if the balcony isn't for you, or you'd like help finding the perfect seat, our ushers are at your service. For those of you who are new to Arlington Street, a very special welcome to you. If you're in the sanctuary, there are welcome cards in the pew racks. Please hand yours to an usher or drop it in the basket at the great doors as you leave. Those of you in the Zoom room, please fill out a connection card. The link is in the chat. It includes the option to request the link to a recording of today's sermon. Since Reverend Beth and I can't greet all of you in person, we would love to follow up with a virtual hello. So whether you've been coming here for years or today is your first time at Arlington Street, welcome home.
Good morning, my friends. My name is Marie O'Brien, a member of the worship team. Welcome to all. Today's order of service is available on the homepage at ascboston.org and will appear in the Zoom chat. If you're in the sanctuary in person, there's a template order of service in your pew and a QR code, which you can scan for more details. Also on the homepage, you'll find a link to Sermon Bingo. Feel free to play along while Reverend Kim preaches. As we begin our greetings today, I invite the Zoomers and those in the sanctuary with a device handy to please say hello in the chat and tell us where you're zooming in from today. And now, Rich is going to turn the camera on the incarnate congregation as they wave and smile at each other, as well as at those in the Zoom room. And all of us in the Zoom room can wave and smile back. Hello, friends. Let's all engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another heart to heart.
Brooks, come on up with your parents, my love, and join me on the chancel. Brooks Harrison was named for his great-grandmother, our beloved Harriet. She was thrilled to fly out to Denver to meet him and welcome him to the world. Today, we welcome him and celebrate the blessing of his life. With all the world, we celebrate the coming of this new life, our joy in him, our love, and our devotion to him. It is not enough that children be born. They must also be received. For the future of children and community alike depends on us. Brooks, how shall we welcome you to the world? We cannot express how happy we are that you have come. All the caresses of our eyes and hands cannot measure the fullness of our love. We cannot hold you close enough. We welcome you into the family of humankind. We welcome you into this community. In you, we all share a new life. In your life, our lives will be continued. May you have a healthy body. May you have the courage and grace to do whatever is required of you and what you most desire to do. May you have willingness to learn and passion to pursue the truth. May you be tender and fearless. May you love the beauty of the earth and all our creations. May you know the companionship of beloveds, the meanings of generosity and compassion and service, the love of many, and the love of one above all others. And now we call upon your family and friends to serve you and to nurture your growth. We are responsible for guarding your life, your freedom, and your opportunities. Today, we think of the other children who will share in the life of your generation, whose welfare is inseparable from your own. May we all help to make a more just and peaceful world for you and for all whose lives are linked with yours. Carson and Andrew, will you name your son?
Brooks Harrison Bogage.
Brooks Harrison Bogage. This water is a symbol of life and of our connection with all living things. This flower is a symbol of life's unfolding and of love. Brooks Harrison, I touch you in blessing with this flower and this water. Uh-oh. On your brow, that you may think freely and clearly. On your heart, that you may feel deeply and love deeply. On your hands, that you may serve the ideals of truth and beauty. And over your whole body, that you may come to realize the fullness of your unique individuality and of your divine humanity. For many years, our own Claire Humphrey, whose 2 children were dedicated and raised here among us, has been making a gift for each child we welcome to Arlington Street. Morgan Cooleybeck, now midway through college and providing childcare here on Sunday mornings, was dedicated by us almost 17 years ago, and they are bringing this gift to Brooks today. Great. By this service of dedication, we commit ourselves to the nurture of this child. May we be worthy guardians of his young life. May we build a community in which he will grow old, surrounded by beauty, embraced by love, and cradled in the arms of peace. And let the people say, amen.
Our opening hymn is Mother of All, which will be led by Beck Zer. The words can be found in the order of service, in the chat, or in the gray hymnal number 91. Let's rise in body, rise in spirit, and join together in singing Mother of All.
It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. I'm Art Nava, a member of the worship team, and today's candles coordinator. These candles were submitted on our website by the Friday evening deadline. If you didn't submit your candle and have a joy or sorrow to share this morning, please wait until the third candle is lit, the silent candle, and then type your joy or sorrow in the chat. Zoomers are invited to light silent candles at home. Those in the sanctuary are invited to light a silent candle at the table up front to the right of the Gleason podium. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. And now, in the spirit of invocation, let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order service and in the chat.
Us come today with heavy hearts. We open our hearts to you.
We have one candle of sorrow this morning from Lois Hartsoff. After 45 years in healthcare, I thought I had learned to not take life for granted. I was looking forward to my retirement and spending more time with my mother. Instead, she's gone. Certainly not what I expected. Thank you for your support. It means so much to me.
Some of us come today in joy. We share your joy.
We have one candle of joy this morning, and it's actually a mixed candle from Queen Cheryl. A candle of beloved memory for my grandma, Mrs. Ann Rose Ziska. By now, I'm sure Mama and our beloved Harriet have found one another. I see them both wearing their 93rd birthday tiaras, sitting at Mama's brown formica table, drinking tea. They're both bragging to one another about their children and grandchildren. Then there's a pause in conversation as they stop to drop love out of the heavens like a gentle rain, pouring down on those of us who love and miss them so much. I love you, Mama. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. Happy Mother's Day. Love, your Cheryl.
the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, and for the world.
Let's join now in saying together the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra congregación, y el servicio es nuestro regalo. Esto es a lo que nos comprometemos, convivir en paz, hablar nuestras verdades con amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Our next hymn is Better Days by Emma's Revolution, who, if you don't know from this song, you might know from Swimming to the Other Side or Keep on Moving Forward or many other hymns. Songs, not hymns. Said hymns because I was thinking of Emma's Revolution wrote this song when they actually played at a Unitarian Universalist church, and they asked them, hey, could you sing one of our hymns for the service? And they said, nah, we'll just write our own song and sing that as a hymn. And this is the song that they wrote. I don't love the part of the story where they were like, no, none of your hymns are good enough. We'll write our own. But I do like the part where they wrote this song. And it was originally written for solstice, has this combination of the dark and the light. And I just really love it for almost any occasion. It just kind of holds both joy and sorrow and this kind of intention to rebuild and release and comfort through all of the times together. So I'm going to teach you a little of it. It starts as sort of a call and response. Part of it is that you can follow along and sing all the words if you want, if you can access the order of service in the chat or otherwise. But the call and response part, the first one is in the light. So I sing a line and everyone responds in the light. Let me just try once with the choir. It sounds like this. We have come. So it works kind of like that, in the light. And then verse 2 is in the dark, and the verse 3 is we begin. So you can sing along with the choir for those, or you can sing the rest of the words. And it has this chorus. I'll sing it for you once as well. And it goes like this. Let us sing for today. Let us learn better ways. Let's try that. Let us sing. Let us sing for today. Let us learn better ways. And there's more words as well, but then it also goes back to the call and response, which you can join in on. So I invite us to rise in body, rise in spirit, and we'll sing together Better Days. We have come to this place with our hearts open wide. We are here giving voice to the truth we divine. Let us sing for today. Let us learn better ways. giving hope. We create better days. We are born, we are fed, we connect through the veil. We are held, we are healed. Mysteries we reveal. Let us sing, let us sing for today. Let us love better ways, showing love, giving hope. We create better days. Time is now where we are. We have all that we need to renew, to release, to rebuild, to believe. Let us sing for today. Let us love better ways, showing love, giving hope. We create better days. One more time, let us sing for today. Let us love better ways, showing love, giving hope. We create better days. Amen.
Five versions of the same story. 1. Someone is heading out to work, approaching the street, keys in hand, when suddenly they notice that their car looks oddly low to the ground. Getting closer, they see that, in fact, it is resting on its axles. The tires have been stolen. Their immediate response is to open their phone and buy the silk pajamas they've been coveting. Then they call the police. 2, someone heads out to drive to work and discovers that their tires have been stolen. Their immediate response is a wave of fury. They pound on the car, then whirl around and, returning to their apartment building, pound on the super's door. My tires are gone. What are we paying you for? When they get to work, they extend their rage to everyone they encounter. 3, the tires are missing. The owner of the car begins to fret. Today, the tires. Tomorrow, the car. I'll have no way to get to work. I'll lose my job. I'll be living on the streets. 4, on discovering that the tires have been stolen, someone returns to their apartment, calls out from work, and lies down for a nap. And finally, 5, no tires. The person stands there scanning the street. Is this really my car? Why did I park here? What am I doing living in a neighborhood where tires go missing? Why do I just keep making these terrible decisions? These, my friends, are a modern-day illustration of the mind states that get in the way of joy, known in Buddhism as the 5 hindrances. The translation from Pali is desire, aversion, restlessness, sloth, and doubt. For our purposes, we could give them more memorable names that sound suspiciously like Snow White's companions: greedy, grumpy, anxious, sleepy, and doubtful. My own experience is that each of us has a starring hindrance in our lives, the one with which we naturally lead. Are you a silk pajamas kind of person? Or do you tend to anger? Are you a fretter? Lazy? Or does your mind tend to spin out of control in self-doubt and self-blame? Originally named as distractions from the present, the ways we lose our way, the hindrances restrict our access to equanimity and peace. When my friend and teacher Sylvia Borstein first shared the missing tires teaching tale, her friend and teacher, Sharon Salzberg, responded that instead of calling this the tale of greedy, grumpy, anxious, sleepy, or doubtful, for some of us it would be more accurate to claim all 5 of the hindrances living together in the little cottage of our minds. We are, she said, greedy, grumpy, anxious, sleepy, and doubtful. German-born Buddhist monk and scholar Nyanaponika Thera begins his book, The 5 Mental Hindrances and Their Conquest, explaining, the highest goal of the Buddha's teachings is unshakable deliverance of the mind. Deliverance means the freeing of the mind from all limitations that tie it to the wheel of suffering. The hindrances are like bad companions that hang out in the bad neighborhood of our minds. To get them to move, he says, don't feed them, so they'll go looking for trouble elsewhere. If we want to extend that metaphor, actually, we can say that the minute we've learned their real names, greedy, grumpy, anxious, sleepy, and doubtful, they're in trouble. Because now we can rat them out. The tables turn and we are no longer beholden to them. They'll continue to pop up, for sure, they're persistent and we're human. But they'll stop running the show. If we find that someone has stolen our tires, we might feel the urge to splurge, rage, worry, nap, or collapse into uncertainty and doubt, but with a little practice, okay, a lot of practice, we can choose our response, cultivate an expansive mind, and invite spaciousness into our lives. For 25 years, CNN broadcast Larry King Live, a 1-hour talk show which reached 1 million viewers a day. Typically, Larry King would interview celebrities and politicians, but once he interviewed the Indian Hindu Swami Satchidananda. That night, phone calls flooded in from both skeptical and antagonistic viewers. Throughout the broadcast, the Swami remained calm and content, responding to each question with clarity, precision, and even humor. Larry King was known for his direct style and probing questions. At one point, he leaned across his desk and looked into the Swami's eyes. "How did it get so quiet in there?" he asked. Swami Satchidananda replied, "It is quiet in there. We just all ruffle it up so much." Sylvia Borstein writes, "There is no willfulness about stirring up our minds. It is the nature of the mind to be stirred, like winds that blow back and forth across the surface of a clear pool, obscuring its clarity and depth. We don't mean to complicate our lives, but hindrances hinder the possibility of our reconnecting with the peaceful self that is our essential nature. And choosing to pay attention doesn't mean stopping that. It just means that we can see them for what they are, ripples on a smooth surface. Tibetan Buddhists liken the mind to a great clear sky, a cloudless sky. All the phenomena of mind and body are happenings in this clear sky. They are not the sky itself. The sky is unaffected by what's happening. The clouds come and go, the winds come and go, the rain and the sunlight all come and go, but the sky remains clear. We forget that our actual nature is not the passing storm. The passing storm is the passing storm. Our essence remains our essence all the time. Make the mind like a big, clear sky, they say, and let everything arise and vanish on its own. Then the mind stays spacious and clear. The fact that it's the nature of our minds for storms to arise and pass away is not a problem. Living in a place where the weather changes frequently is not a problem. It does, however, require clothing to wear when we go out into it, and sometimes the wisdom to stay indoors. It also helps in keeping the spirits up to remember that the weather is going to change. In just this way, our difficult mind states, greedy, grumpy, anxious, sleepy, and doubtful, are a problem only if we believe they are going to be there forever. When the tires have been stolen, we can find our breath and ask, what's the wisest response in this very moment? At the heart of all the hindrances is the feeling of something missing, something amiss. Two grandmothers were taking care of their 2-year-old granddaughter as her baby brother was being born. One of the grandmothers told this story. The two grandmothers are close friends, and the toddler knows both of them well. Nevertheless, it became increasingly clear that she knew something was up. She became fussy. She wanted cuddling. She was hungry, though she'd been fed. She wanted to play, but no one could touch her toys. On and on, the grandmothers did their valiant best. And then finally, one of them turned to the other and spoke the whole truth of the situation, saying, "Le falta algo," which means she's missing something. I love this. Instead of spinning into a full-blown hindrance attack, we can simply say, "Me falta algo," I'm missing something, and ask, what is the wisest response in this very moment? I want to be sure you don't leave here this morning thinking the hindrances are going to just jet and leave us. That's where spiritual practice comes in, and patience, especially with ourselves. The founders of the Insight Meditation Center in Barre, Massachusetts have a hilarious collection of envelopes they kept from the time just after they opened. One was addressed to the Hindsight Meditation Society. That's probably worth its own sermon. I remember hearing this guy reminiscing about building his house. When it was done, he said, he finally owned all the tools he needed to build it. I've thought about that so often as it relates to the spiritual life. It seems we need to go through whatever we go through to gain the tools that would have helped us to get there in the first place. But unlike Merlin, we can't live backwards. We have to live forwards, doing the best we can with what we have. Patience. Another envelope arrived at the Insight Meditation Society addressed to the Instant Meditation Society. Think dehydrated meditation. Just add water, enlightenment. Well, that's not happening. The only instant in spiritual practice is this instant, as in this very moment. It's the only one we can do anything about. You can't plant a garden and keep pulling up the plants to see how they're doing. The Buddhist teacher Munindra used to say, in spiritual practice, time is not a factor. It is not something relevant to this practice. Practice is timeless. Patience. Thinking of patience, patience with others, and perhaps patience with ourselves as something through which we grit our teeth and forbear is misguided. The Buddha spoke of patience as both the highest austerity, but also as the heart of true devotion. Sharon Salzberg writes, patience is a steadfast strength that we apply to each moment. It does not imply a sense of succumbing to, a complacent giving up, or even an endless standing by. Patience does not mean being enslaved by the moment. It certainly doesn't mean that we must accept whatever comes without taking action to change things. If the moment requires some kind of action, we must. What is important is the way in which we take action. Patience is actually quite simple. It means a full and open connection to this moment with integrity. I want to close with a story about my friend Lama Surya Das's teacher, Nyoshul Khan Rinpoche. Khenpo, as his students call him, had begun training in a monastery at the age of 5. By the age of 27, he was a highly revered Lama. Like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Khenpo had to flee the Chinese invasion of Tibet, leaving his family behind, not knowing if he would ever see them again. He set out with 70 other people. One night, as the group made their way through the treacherous Himalayan passes, they were ambushed. Khenpo was one of only 5 who survived. Reaching India, he begged for pennies on the streets of Calcutta so that he might buy a cup of tea. Inevitably, as he recounted this brutal story, his devoted students would weep, imagining their esteemed and beloved teacher, a stranger in a strange land, bereft and impoverished. But he told them, I was happy. He found happiness, he said, in the fact that he had lived at the extraordinary opportunity to be alive. He found purpose in being an example of grace, in the strength of the teachings, and in continuing to teach. So many unexpected ups and downs, he said, who can describe them? Isn't life like a series of dreams within a vast, dreamlike mirage? His happiness was not conditional, not bound to outward circumstances. Even in the midst of unimaginable hardship, he had cultivated an inner freedom and an inner peace. And Khenpo dedicated his life to freeing others. Which brings us back, my beloved spiritual companions, to us, each of us, as we navigate both temporal and spiritual experiences of stolen tires. Greedy, grumpy, anxious, sleepy, and doubtful all live within us and among us. At any given moment, we might feel the urge to splurge, rage, worry, nap, or collapse into uncertainty and doubt. But with practice and patience, we can choose our response to them, choose to invite spaciousness into our lives. The mind is like a big, clear sky. It is quiet in there. When we find ourselves tempted to ruffle it up, we can simply say, I'm missing something, and ask, what's the wisest response in this very moment? Not hindsight meditation, not instant meditation, but practice and patience, dear ones. Patience with our circumstances, patience with ourselves, while we keep the faith that underneath it all are freedom and peace. I wish this for you and for us all. Freedom and peace. Amen.
So we had planned this beautiful, lovely movement from the Brahms Requiem in honor of Mother's Day and in honor of Harriet. And as Kim mentioned, our soprano soloist, Hannah, texted me last night that she was sick, singing the big solo. And then Natalia, who was the other professional soprano who would be covering the choral soprano part, was sick. And this morning, Andrew, our professional baritone, texted me that he was sick. And that made it really easy that we couldn't do that piece this morning. And hopefully we'll be doing that in a few weeks on June 4th is the plan. Thanks to Sam and Beck and Youngju and Julie and all the wonderful members of our volunteer choir for making the music that they have and continue to do this morning. And we replaced the movement from the Brahms Requiem with something very different. I was looking forward to doing that, but I also kind of wanted to do this song today, and we didn't quite have enough slots, and now we do. And this is Change Your Mind by the band Sister Hazel, and it was one of the first things I thought of when Kim mentioned the sermon topic today. This has this chorus, if you want to be somebody else, if you're tired of fighting battles with yourself, change your mind. Did you ever think there might be another way to just feel better about today? Oh no, if you never want to have to turn and go away, you might feel better if you stay. Yeah, I hope you heard every word I said. Yeah, if you've had enough of all you're trying, just give up the state of mind you're in. If you wanna be somebody else, if you're tired of fighting battles with yourself, if you wanna be somebody else, change your mind, change your mind. Have you ever danced in the rain or thanked the sun just for shining, or the sea? Oh no, take it all in, the world's a show, and yeah, You look much better, you look much better when you glow. Yeah, yeah, I hope you heard every word I've said. Yeah, yeah, if you've had enough of all you're trying, just give up the state of mind you're in. If you wanna be somebody else, if you're tired of fighting battles with yourself, if you wanna be somebody else, change your mind, change your mind. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Hey, hey, what you say we both go and seize the day? 'Cause what's your hurry, what's your hurry anyway? Yeah, yeah, I hope you heard every word I said. Yeah, yeah, if you've had enough of all you're trying, just give up the state of mind you're in. If you wanna be somebody else, if you're tired of fighting battles with yourself, if you wanna be somebody else, change your mind, change your mind, change your mind, change your mind. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Thanks.
Arlington Street is entirely self-sustaining. It's up to us, and our generosity continues to be astounding. Thank you for your commitment to our staff, our building, and our beloved spiritual community. Each Sunday, we share our collection plate with a partner in our mission of love, service, justice, and peace. This month's beneficiary is the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute Mother's Day Walk for Peace. You can read more about it at ascboston.org. Thank you for your generosity. On Mother's Day, I'm thinking of all types of people who step into the role of mother or avoiding the binary parent. People like teachers and after-school leaders, friends, parents, and parents' friends, coaches and coworkers, and so many more. Among the people who parented me was my maternal grandmother, Ma Mère. In my childhood memory, her apartment in Jamaica Plain and her triple-decker always smelled of delicious cooking. We would spend countless hours together playing an obscure Acadian card game called Auction 45. If I slept over, which I did often, I'd fall asleep to the bedtime stories she'd make up on the spot. Ma Mère parented me with a deep generosity and care that resonates to this day. Her parenting buoyed my spirit, reminding me that I was worthy of love, no matter my imperfections. At Arlington Street, loving parenting happens everywhere. In public, during Reverend Kim's sermon lessons and Reverend Beth's pastoral presence in the chat. In small groups like coffee hour, when a tender moment is shared and upheld. And in private connections, when someone checks in with a person they've not seen for a while. All this mutual parenting weaves us together. It's a big part of what attracted me to this spiritual community. It makes me feel held, uplifted, perfectly imperfect. For this reason, I claim this spiritual community as my own. For this reason, I am inspired to share my time, talent, and treasure with Arlington Street Church. Please take a moment now to join me in giving to our beloved spiritual community and filling our virtual collection plate. You can give online by scanning the QR code in the order of service, go to ascboston.org, text your gift, or Venmo at Arlington Street. You can also mail a check to the church or use the envelopes in the pews, which can be handed to Reverend Kim, Reverend Beth, or any of our ushers after the service. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you, Julie and Mark David. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, we will be celebrating the life of Harriet Bogage. The memorial service will be both in person and in the Arlington Street Zoom room. There are weekly gatherings on Zoom for loving kindness meditation, poetry, yoga, writing. In addition, our governing board, the Prudential Committee, hosts their monthly open meeting this Tuesday evening. Every Wednesday at 4 Eastern, Reverend Kim and Reverend Beth host a tea party with a conversation prompt. This week's prompt is, what's something about which you changed your opinion or changed your mind? And back in person, for those of you in the Boston area who love to sing, come join the choir. Mark David holds rehearsals at the church on Thursday evenings at 7 o'clock. No experience necessary. Information and the Zoom room links for virtual gatherings are at ascboston.org. To attend any of them, you don't have to be a member, you don't have to turn on your video or talk if you don't want to, and they're all free. All are always welcome. Following today's service, everyone is welcome to join the virtual coffee hour. If you'd like to participate, please answer yes to the breakout room invitation that will appear on your screen. If you're in person, you'll need to go to the Zoom room before the Postlude begins. Today, both Reverend Kim and Reverend Beth will be at the end of the center aisle. If you're in person after virtual coffee hour, please linger to visit. Thanks to all of you who joined in today's service and to all who made it possible. Remember, we're all in this together.
Our final hymn today is Paul McCartney's timeless Let It Be. The words are available in the chat in order of service. I invite us to rise in body, rise in spirit, and sing together. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper, whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. There will be an there will be an answer, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be, 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 let it be. Shine, shine until tomorrow. Let it be.
Before our benediction, I invite those of you in the Zoom room to please reach out your hands and touch the sides of your Hollywood Square. Those of you in the sanctuary to please raise your hands, palms out. Let's send loving kindness to the people to your left and to your right. Send loving kindness to the person on either side of you, to the people on either side of them. Send out love into this beloved spiritual community and feel it coming back to you. Love is the spirit of this congregation. And now for the benediction, I invite you to put your hands over your heart in namaste. I bow to the divine in you. Adapted from Reverend Bill Schultz, this is the mission of our faith: to practice the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to celebrate our exquisite diversity, and to answer the call to hold the whole world in our hands. Let us keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Bless your hearts. I love you. Amen.
Your Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.